All right, Sprawl Racer here. Sorry for the lack of content lately. Same thing as always. Life is busy, and some of my ideas are more ambitious than I have time for. But we've been doing good. The last race I uploaded was a B Open race. I put a lot of effort into the setup for that, and I kind of want to make a setup guide video, almost like a follow up to Justin's oval setup guide, because his video is super good, but I think he was missing a lot of key elements of things I look forward to or look for, when building a setup. And I think if you combine his knowledge with my knowledge, we can build a pretty good setup. My race didn't go great in B Open, but that was a kind of a big focus, as well as the Daytona 24. I don't record my special events because I don't want my computer to have issues. Because it doesn't just affect me at that point, it affects my whole team, and I just stress about that. But that was the first Daytona 24 I've ever done with my dad. It was his first ever multi-class race and first ever endurance event, and I had a lot of fun. Leroy killed it. I did some great driving. Tyler did great. Taylor had a hard time setting his alarm clock, but I think we all had a lot of fun. And during that, my dad mentioned the possibility of doing another endurance event. And I thought the 6 hours of Glen would have been a better first endurance event rather than throwing him in the deep end at Daytona. But he knows Daytona, Watkins Glen very well. He would tell you that he beat Juan Montoya here one time in a radical race. It's his greatest sim racing achievement. But my dad also mentioned that he wanted to drive the faster classic car so he can actually pass somebody. So GT3s, watch out. This video is going to be a little different. I just bought the Cadillac, and I thought it'd be cool to do like a live car review. It is a little late, but I know this car's been out for a while. But if you're going to do an endurance race in America, you should run an American car. And Justin drives the Cadillac. I got it. So I can always bug him if I have any questions or need help with stuff. And he says it's the sexiest sounding car on iRacing. And it's probably true until they actually get good audio on the dirt sprint car. But first things first, one thing I like to do is just go straight to the garage and see what we're working with. Tires, wet, dry, pressure is all standard there. We do have an aero calculator. Love that. Rear wing settings, it looks like it's at 17 degrees maxed out. 12 degrees is the minimum, so only 5 points of adjustment there. And we're on the baseline setup. We'll just leave it there. We have a heave spring. We have ARB blades, push rod length offset, and a power steering assist. I don't know a lot about that push rod length offset. Front use ride heights without changing the deflection of the heave spring. Okay. It looks like it uses a torsion bar system. So you have your torsion bar turns, your outer diameter. That's going to be basically your spring rate. High speed, low speed compression, damp slope. I'm not too sure about the slope, but something to learn. Camber, obvious. No caster. I wish more cars had caster. In fact, does it even have toe? Yeah, it has front toe. It's up there. So honestly, doesn't look too complicated of a setup there on the actual chassis side of it. Now, this is where things might get crazy. You got your fuel level, fuel warning, fuel target, traction control, gain loss, throttle shape, or gain slip. You got your gear stack, which you can't change gears. You just got long or short. I'm assuming long would be Daytona, short would be normal tracks. And you got your differential, so no like electronic stuff to kind of mess with there. And so I mean, honestly, the setup looks fairly simple. It doesn't look too crazy. It's not like the old tractor Audi or Porsche. And brake drive unit. Did I scroll funky there? You got your brake specs, and you can pick your LED light, so I love it. But yeah, no, I mean, pretty straightforward looking thing there. Let's go official setups. It looks like you get baseline wet, Daytona fixed, high downforce, low downforce, medium. We're actually just load high downforce, which is 17 on the rear. Ride height's 1.18, so it's right on the limit. And then the rear is probably going to be stuck up in the air. But apply close. Let's get this car on track, get a feel for how it drives, how it sounds. And yeah, no, this will be kind of my review on the Cadillac. Visuals, I got triple screen set up. Engine sounds very quiet sitting here. I'm just kidding. That's just because that's my button box. I probably don't have the ignition set. Okay, so yeah, everything looks good here in the car. I got pretty good visibility, better than the LMP3 for sure. You are sitting on the left-hand side. Let me make sure my wheels turned on. Sim wheel settings, get that turned on. What else do we have here? As far as in-car adjustments, brake bias target, brake bias mitigation, front roll bar, rear roll bar, and then your traction control settings. So no adjustments for the battery or any battery settings there. That's all done by a computer. And so I do kind of wish the cars were more complicated, but I am an idiot, and I feel that way about every car on iRacing. But yeah, let's roll here. Oh, electric motor's rolling off. V8 kicks in. Sounds amazing. I don't know how much I can push it on the first lap. Car does sound good. Sounds real throaty, real meaty. 7 gears. Almost missed the bus stop there. And locks up, no ABS. I love that. Do not lock the brakes. It feels like a car. This does have the new spiderweb tires. Looks like Spider-Man trying to rip off the Venom suit. They look silly, but as long as they work and race good, they feel great in the sim. We'll see how they do at Daytona this week. Real Daytona. Oh, whoa, okay. A little snappy there on throttle. If you've driven any high downforce car on iRacing, you kind of know how they feel. This doesn't feel too different. Maybe I'm just not that good of a driver to feel that. You can feel that twitchiness of the brake wanting to lock up. I really love that feeling in the old Porsche Cup car. It's back here in this, which is nice. I'm going to change my black box. It's on the side monitor. You can't see it, but it looks like it's handling all the battery stuff for me. Try to hit that curb a little aggressive. I mean, obviously I messed that corner up. It wasn't pretty, but I tried to hit the curb there last moment a little aggressive, and it seemed to handle it. Aggressive back to the throttle there. I mean, car feels great. I mean, I could be super slow right now, but it doesn't feel... I drove the Acura and the BMW in the past, so I'm not completely new to GTPs. I've also did a 24 last year in the LMP2. So I have some minimal experience. The new tires, from what I remember, feel a lot better under braking. The old ones were, like, if you looked at them, even slightly wrong, they'd lock up. Obviously, I've had one lockup so far into the bus stop, and I wasn't even pushing. So, I mean, these still lock up, but it doesn't feel like it's trying to actively kill me. do one more lap here while I talk, then I'll try to attack for a lap. The car feels very stiff. I feel like, as you would expect. I haven't obviously raced around other cars in it. The visually 3D model, the car looks long as hell, and I feel like you'd have to kind of learn that in traffic. I'll roll the brake bias back a little bit, 52.2. You know, the car feels like a car. It sounds good. It sounds unique. It doesn't sound like the traditional iRacing V8. It does sound better than the Acura, from what I remember, and the BMW. Able to kind of brake it free right there, so it's still sensitive on the throttle. That could be possibly fixed with some setup and some differential settings. Yeah, let's try to attack a lap here and call it good.
35, 46, 7. That was your fastest lap of the session.
Off track. We're not going to count that. Look, I waited a long time for it to rotate there. Like there is some sluggishness to the car's turning. I don't know if that's because it feels 5 miles long or if it's setup related. I might try to do another quick lap after this without getting that 1X. Definitely fighting it there on the rear. Oh, another 1X. A lot of understeer. I'm gonna try to soften the front bar when I can down the back straightaway, see if that fixes it. Where's my mouse? Trying to multitask here is not the greatest idea, probably. Wait till I'm on the straightaway. So the front bar is actually already as soft as it gets. This is fun to drive. Let's try another fast lap. I'm pushing there, so we're still finding time continuously.
33, 47, 4.
got close there. Hopefully that was a decent lap.
Only 6-8. That was your fastest lap of the session.
Oh, there's no. I gotta like push the clutch in. Push the clutch into coast. Ignition works though. Okay, yeah, no. Switch back over to here. Let's get out and look at the car. Watch that lap on replay. And yeah, no, that felt really good. That drove good, felt good. The tires are much better than they used to be. When the BMW first came out, I drove it. When Lionheart had to go away from IndyCar, they switched to a sports car series. And I did some practice with those guys and tried to do some video stuff for George at the time. And the BMW was just hard as hell to drive. Maybe I'm a better driver now, but I remember that thing being a death trap. And I think it was just the tires and the way it was. I drove some of the GTP, the Acura Daytona last year, just testing and goofing off because it was like a rocket ship fast. Way too much downforce and grip. And then I actually drove the Acura when the tire model was new the first time. I did a video where I was going to drive it until I crashed. And I didn't think it was that bad. I had to intentionally crash in the video. But this new Spiderweb tire feels amazing. The car felt great. It sounded good. And I think running this into the Watkins Glen 6 hours, they're going to be the call. So if you want, I'll have my Discord down below. Feel free to join. I want to try to organize a couple different teams. One with just me and my dad for having fun. And then maybe another team that's a little more competitive. And just want to have a good, fun environment where I work on the setup for this car and get us prepped. I know it's a ways out, but I stay busy with life and I want to get a jump on it. So feel free to join the Discord. And I'm going to start getting stuff prepped for this. But yeah, no, this car is fun. And I think we're looking forward to a good, fun, for my keyboard here, 6 hours of Watkins Glen. Thank you for watching and have a great day.